So I thought, guys, obviously, as you know, I haven't been in the group super long. It's been for a few months. I got some awesome questions, so I want to make sure I have time. So Joe or someone, let me know when I'm at 3 minutes or if I've got a couple minutes left. I thought what I'd do is just give you, I call it the origin story. Like when I do videos with a lot of you guys, a lot of people want to know, like, how did I get into what you do? And for most of us, that's fairly interesting. So I'll give you the Reader's Digest version of me. So I'm from Lincoln. I've been doing the website digital marketing stuff. I was a graphic design major, art major in school. So I've been doing this back since the 90s, which it sounds like, again, from a website perspective, it's been kind of since the beginning. I tell people I'm kind of an odd duck, and I really am. I'm kind of what I call this mixture of, I'm an artist. My mom was a piano teacher, my dad's a software developer. So that's what I tell people, I got that mix of both. So one of the things when I kind of got into the industry, which was really cool, is I loved and I was really interested in how the tech could enhance or mash up with kind of the traditional marketing stuff. So that's kind of how I got into the business. I started freelancing, and then all of a sudden I was an owner, which I tell people that wasn't really, I didn't have this like, oh my gosh, I want to build this big giant business, but my parents are from farms. I was around so many people that had small businesses, and I'm like, it just seemed like that's what you did. You learned your trade and you started to sell your services. Really fast forward, so 7 years ago, I had sold my previous business. I was a little burned out. I was an employee for a while, which was great. I enjoyed that. My daughter was going to be born. I was working crazy hours. I'm like, you know what? And I had all these people coming to me. Now social media is around. Everybody's confused and frustrated. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I've done the life of working 70 hours a week. I'm going to do this on my timeline when I want to do it. So this was kind of based on the premise of being sort of a family-owned business. I really felt like, especially as things have matured in marketing, is that now being a small business, being personal, being an individual is rewarded. Back in the days when I started with marketing, that really wasn't the case. It wasn't about people first necessarily. It was more about product and service. Now, for all of us, and most of us are part of small businesses, that is like the linchpin of what makes a marketing strategy work well, is being human, being unique, being yourself, being transparent. Again, it's not like you have to necessarily reinvent the wheel. So for me, I think what's kind of got more of that passion back is that now I can help people that are those small businesses that didn't have this huge budget, but they have a great story to tell. I mean, I'm working with so many of you right now, which I'm very blessed to be able to do, and I want to do a good job for. And I'm just seeing how we can take these great companies that are, working hard and doing the right thing, and we can just amplify those messages. And the big thing is we can measure it. So again, part of what we're doing is very old school. It's relationships, it's referrals. It's not a lot different than BNI. We're just amplifying it by using technology. And then once we're got a system going, I kind of use the old Husker analogy. It's 3 yards in a cloud of dirt, old school Husker football. And so part of what we're doing is we're doing this spaced repetition. I'm a runner, so the whole idea is I train 4 or 5 days a week. If I want to sit and run a marathon, I got to put in the time. The same thing works with what we do, is we have to put in those daily and weekly kind of measurements so that we're making sure that we're executing. So again, big thing we're doing, websites, social media, video, and then helping with Google search. Let me do my questions here. What business may not need a website? Ryan asked that. Great question. There are some situations, most of the time not. I would say usually if somebody's trying to find your address, Google is like the yellow pages. So it's in your best interest to have a site. But I will admit, when we started Genr8, which used to be Turbine Digital, we actually didn't have a website for 6 months. We just were in Facebook. So there are situations where it can work to just have that in Facebook. SEO. This term called search engine optimization. It's a goofy, kooky term. It's probably the most misrepresented and misunderstood thing in our industry, which is how do I get high on Google? So some simple tips. So let's think of it logically. Google likes more information. So the number one thing you can do with your website is update it. Put new content. Videos. Google owns YouTube, so they're probably going to give some preference to people that upload a video on YouTube. Blogging. Seems like this complicated thing. What Google wants is personalized editorials. For a lot of us, I'm talking with Dr. Duncan right now, it's like, you guys have this wealth of knowledge. Just pick a topic, write, you can even audio dictate it sometimes to someone or type it out. A couple paragraphs. That stuff is great for Google. Can you control your Google reviews? Kind of. I had a great chat with Regina about this. So real quickly, since I'm running out of time, the blessing and the curse. So on the one hand, the review process is a new thing that can be frustrating for some clients because you can get some real screwballs that put some stuff out there. But here's what I will tell you. People respect someone that's just up front. If they give you a bad review, it's okay. I know Todd is one that's benefited greatly from a lot of great reviews. I say this, you can't buy a reputation now. That used to be the case. So the disruption of some of these things, although there is some challenges with it, as small business owners, we benefit from the fact that nobody as a big dog can buy out if they're doing a bad job.
All right.
More questions, but that's what I had.
So Jason, you were in BNI before, right?
Yes, correct.
How long were you in the other group?
I was in there for 7 years,
7 years.
and it was amazeballs. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it.
Okay. So obviously you have a lot of connections in this group. It's working really well for you. Give us some of the benefits you've seen over the last 7.5 years in BNI.
Well, I think, to me, the thing that's been cool about this group is you guys are very passionate. I see people that, again, you're switched on and you really want to help each other. And, for me, you guys fit like a glove as far as for us, it is about small business and it's about trust. And as much as I love my industry, it's just hard to find people you can trust. So I think our goal is just to be that trustworthy resource. And again, I've really enjoyed getting to know everybody.